Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to meet Texas Democrats, better known today as the super spreaders. Like the colonizers before them, they claimed to come to D.C. to bring democracy and peace, and instead they brought disease and genocide. In this video, we're going to take a look at the growing number of these feckless politicians who are testing positive for the coronavirus. We're going to look at how their public relations team, the mainstream Marxist media, is basically ignoring this embarrassment. And stick with me to the very end of this video, where I'm going to reveal why the real loser in all this is none other than Kamala Harris herself. You're not going to want to miss this. Greetings, everyone. Dr. Steve here with you. Wonderful to be with you. As always, we are your daily fake news antidote. As each and every day, I provide patriotic analysis to help you to think better so you can feel better in these crazy and turbulent times. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Before we jump into things here, let's give a huge shout out to the sponsor of this video, and that is the awesome, the totally cool, the amazing Fighter Flare flashlight. You are gonna love this one. One of the best things that you can invest in for your protection when the lights go out is this 6-in-1 beauty, which comes with a 3000 mAh solar powered recharging battery equipped with a high and low beam light that you can see from miles away. It has an emergency strobe light. It's got a compass. It's got a wire and rope cutter. It's got an emergency glass breaker hammer, and it's got a high powered military grade magnet. It is awesome. And best of all, if you click on that link below right now, you're going to get 20% off the regular price, but supply is limited. So do not wait. Click on that link below and get your super awesome Fighter Flare flashlight today. All right, gang, let's dive right in here. Now, this video today is a follow-up video to one I did last week that you'll definitely want to check out on Governor Abbott officially ordering the arrest of 58 Texas Democrats who fled Texas for the D.C. swamp in an effort to filibuster election reform legislation in Texas. And the very first thing I pointed out about the ridiculous smiling selfies on the airplane was what? Where are their masks? I mean, look at those callous, cruel smiles. Don't they know there's a pandemic going on? Are they actually trying to kill grandma here? And it was so funny because you actually had leftists defending them for not wearing masks. I mean, think about that. You had leftists, people who openly want to see mask mandates like for the foreseeable future, actually defending Texas Democrats for refusing to wear them. This is a doozy. Check this out. Thank you for taking a stand, Dems. When you vaccinated, you don't have to keep a mask on, no matter what happened or mean tactics from others. Thanks for fighting for democracy while others fight for dictatorship. Take a look at this guy. Well, if you put 1 second of thought into it, right, gang? Just 1 second. That's all it takes. If you put just 1 second of thought into it, if this flight is chartered and those lovely ladies as well as the crew are vaccinated, there's really no need for anyone to wear a mask. But there was one tweet that really caught my eye. God bless this person. Please tell me this stunt will backfire times 10 on a plane. And I'm glad to say to this person that he or she is indeed a prophet. My, oh my, has this backfired. As it turns out, 6 of these smiling, snickering, self-indulgent Democrats have indeed tested positive for the coronavirus since arriving to D.C. Yes, 6 of them, my friends. Freaking 6 of them are COVID positive. It started with 3 a few days back, and then they had to update that number to 4, and then it was 5, and then as of today, it's now 6, and NBC is now reporting that they're stopping. The Democrats will no longer be giving daily updates on new cases. They've given up. They've freaking given up. They're so utterly humiliated that they've stopped with the daily updates on new cases among them. I mean, it's just, you literally cannot make this stuff up. By the way, do you think these Twitter accounts that so nobly defended these maskless Democrats, do you think they've written so much as a peep of an apology for their support for super spreaders? Well, of course not. Rules for thee, not for me. Texas Congressman Ronnie Jackson pointed out the obvious regarding these clowns. Quote, Texas Democrats have made fools of themselves during their D.C. vacation. These are the, quote, leaders who push for mask mandates, then get on private planes with no masks. Now some of them have COVID. Where's the media to decry this super spreader event? And of course, Congressman Jackson knows the answer to that. The media isn't decrying this precisely because the mainstream media are the agents for the Democrats. They're publicists for the Democratic Party. They're the public relations wing of far-left lunatics like these absurd AWOL Democrats. But no one tore into these hypocrites like Fox News' Greg Gutfeld. Check it out.
Texas Democrats voting stunt now turning into a super spreader tour. That sounds like fun. But the media is nowhere to be found. There's no widespread outrage, condemnation, or even claims these Democrats are going to slaughter Americans. 5 Texas state lawmakers so far have tested positive for COVID after fleeing their state and posing for selfies maskless on private planes. The group going all around D.C. last week, meeting with top Democrats like Chuck Schumer, having a powwow with Liz Warren. That's not tasteful. And potentially exposing Kamala Harris to the virus. The VP even made a trip to Walter Reed Medical Center yesterday, but the White House is calling that visit a routine appointment. And Jen Psaki doesn't seem to be concerned in the least bit.
Is there any safety concern about her spending time around the president until a certain amount of time has passed?
That she was tested and that there was no detection of COVID-19.
There's no separation of the president and the vice president.
There haven't been additional precautions taken, no.
Do officials here wish that those Texas Democrats would have been more careful and taken more precautions, like wearing masks on the flight here?
Again, I don't think I'm going to be in a position here to assess what safety precautions they may or may not have taken.
Yeah, Psaki's going to have to circle back on that one. Now, if these Democrats won the Oscar for the biggest hypocrites on the planet, then Kamala Harris came in a very, very close second. It's now been revealed that Harris did in fact get tested for COVID after she was with these Texas lawmakers who she's called heroes. Her spokesperson quickly asserted that Kamala Harris would not be quarantined, even though Harris has repeatedly told Americans to quarantine themselves if they've been exposed to others who are COVID positive. Again, makes a good shirt. Rules for thee, not for me. You know, it's no wonder that Harris has been absolutely imploding in the polls with this kind of hypocrisy. The latest from Trafalgar shows that the vast majority of American voters don't think Harris is anywhere near qualified to be president. An astonishing 64% of voters say they are not confident that Harris is ready to be president, with nearly 60% saying they're not confident at all. And perhaps most astonishingly, that number includes 43% of Democrats. You'll definitely want to check out my video on Democrats panicking over Kamala's electability. It's fascinating. They are quickly realizing that she's even less electable than Hillary Clinton was. She's an incredibly unpopular person. She collapsed in the Democratic primaries. I mean, she literally imploded. Her campaign was so bad. It was such a disaster. She actually had to drop out before the very first primary. Her internal polls showed that she would do worse than even Biden did. She's an extremely weak candidate. And while the mainstream Marxist media is doing absolutely everything they possibly can to try to prop her up, even Democrats are admitting she cannot win in 2024. She embarrassed herself in Guatemala. We got a great video on that, by the way, you want to watch. She humiliated herself in Texas, her visit to the so-called border. Again, definitely check that video out. Seriously, Kamala's the gift that keeps on giving. But if there were ever a more pathetic group of Democrats who have embarrassed themselves on their own travels, it is most certainly these Texas Democrats. Not only have a half a dozen of them contracted COVID, they're going to be arrested upon their return to Texas. Greg Gutfeld said it best. They thought they were acting like Frederick Douglass, but in the end, they only ended up looking like Fred Flintstone. Now, before you go, you will definitely want to check out my latest video on the breaking news that President Trump is running in 2024. You're not going to want to miss it, so make sure to click on the link, and I will see you over there. God bless.